Hello, Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements. I hope you're well. Thank you so much for being here. I'm Jen with Timeline Tarot, and this is your tarot card for the week of April 5th, 2026. It is a collective general reading, so as the messages come through today, take what fits, leave what doesn't, because if it's not your message, it simply means it is meant for someone else. And be sure to check out your other placements. If you don't know what they are, in the description box is a link where you can obtain your free birth chart. Also, Aries, keep in mind, this is not what you don't see coming for the week ahead. I've already released that reading, and I'll tag it to the end of this video. But the tarot card of the week reading is intended to give you something to consider, go within, so you can make a decision that is best for you and your life at this time. With all of that said, let's begin. Tapping into the Aries collective now, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements. What would you like the Aries collective to consider for the week of April 5th, 2026? What would you like them to consider? One more shuffle here. Thank you. Your tarot card for the week, my dear, the Tower. What needs to break down in your life in order to be rebuilt? At the bottom of the deck, we have the Page of Swords. What situation in your life requires analysis and research? Tell me why the Tower is the tarot card of the week here for the Aries collective. What needs to break down in your life in order to be rebuilt? Tell me more about this here, please, for the Aries collective. Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements. Let's get one more shuffle here for you, Aries. Thank you. We have Strength. We have the Wheel of Fortune. We have the Knight of Cups, and we have Temperance. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Empress, we have the Queen of Swords, and we have the Hermit. To the Queen of Cups, to the Page of Pentacles, to the Eight of Pentacles. If it's not your message, don't take it. I see here that in the past, your response to things has come from a place of power. Sometimes quiet power, sometimes much needed aggressive power. But power nonetheless, and it takes courage, and it takes strength, and it takes perseverance, and it takes conviction to stand up and to be solid and to be Aries, or to have a high Aries placement like in your Sun, Moon, Rising, or your Venus. However, you have an opportunity, should you choose to accept this. It's like this time around, you can change things in the Wheel of Fortune. You can move forward in a little bit of a more balanced way or a more compassionate way. Perhaps in respect to how you speak or how you communicate to others. Empress to the Queen of Swords to the Hermit. This would be someone who, when they want to call someone out, when they want to disagree, when they want to point something out, when they want to state something that is factual or something that is real and true to them, they do it with care. They do it with gentleness. They do it with compassion. And they do it from a healed place. They do it because they're wise. They do it because they know that their anger or their words could cut. And so there's something here with that Queen of Cups. It's like you don't have to change who you are in terms of your convictions or your beliefs. And it's not that you don't have the right to be disagreeable, but perhaps moving forward, you can do it in a softer way. These are big readings, okay? So if it's not your message, don't get offended. Tell me about strength. Tell me about strength here, please, for the Aries collective. Tell me about strength. One more shuffle here. Thank you. You have the Moon, you have the Eight of Cups, and you have the World card. So I feel like in the past, if you were dealing with a situation, environment, or connection that was not pleasing to you, where there was discord, where you felt unhappy or uneasy with it, sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes the automatic response when you are triggered that way, when your emotions are stirred that way, or maybe even someone angers you, the response is like, F it, I'm out. I'm not saying that's what you do, but that could be how you come across. Again, if it's not your message, don't take it. These tend to be a little bit more difficult and usually geared towards an audience that is open and receptive to seeing what shadow aspects within themselves they could work on or heal. So again, don't be offended by the message. I'm sure the other 11 zodiac signs will have stuff that they need to work on as well. It's a weekly reading that I do. If you're new to the channel, hello, welcome. Please click subscribe there so you can be you can receive notifications on future readings that I do. I do release 48 every week. So getting back to your reading, it's like it's very much a, if I feel isolated, if I feel cornered, if I feel like someone is maybe even giving me a ultimatum, very quick to shut the door on it, very quick to maybe have a quick emotional outburst and then move on. And I think that's what you do. I don't think it's like anger that you carry with you. You know, I think if someone pisses you off on Monday, you express it on Monday or you let it out some way on Monday, and then you get right back to the rest of your week. I don't think I'm speaking to a group of you where you harbor it or you hold on to it and you turn into a grudge holder and resentment fills. That's not what I'm getting here. It seems to be a release, and then, yeah, I just move on. And I think if that's your message, Source is saying you can still release or you can still say what you have to say, but perhaps in a little bit of a gentler way. What situation in your life requires analysis and research? Maybe for this week, you just want to be a little bit more mindful of yourself when you are responding in high trigger or high stressful or very emotional or emotionally chaotic situations. What is your response? No one expects you to change this. It's obviously for one reason or another why you react that way when someone puts you in a compromising situation. But the Page of Swords says just try to view yourself this week as if you were someone else. Just to see if you can start catching yourself when you are responding that way. Anything else Aries needs to know? And then we'll get you some advice. Anything else Aries needs to know about this? Because the Queen of Swords is the Queen of Brevity, but she's not the Queen of Anger. She can tell you what is wrong, how she feels, what her truth is. She can even call you out, but she doesn't have to mother F you out the door. She could, but she doesn't. One more shuffle here. Thank you. We have the Death card, we have the Devil, and we have the Queen of Cups, bottom of the deck, 10 of Pentacles. For some of you, you think showing that softer side of yourself makes you weak or makes you vulnerable. It actually doesn't. What you're doing, I feel like it almost sometimes comes from a defensive posture. And again, I think you have the right to defend yourself. I'm certainly not telling you that you suddenly have to kowtow and go along to get along. But that is a shadow aspect there within yourself. And you would be able to drastically reduce it or maybe even eliminate it, death to that Devil card, by just catching yourself and starting to train yourself to respond in a more softer or gentler tone. Let's get you some advice, my friend. Some advice here for the Aries Collective this week. So what needs to break down in your life in order to be rebuilt? Perhaps the way you react to stressful situations or the way you communicate about them. Again, doesn't mean that you shouldn't. There's a softer way here that you could do it. One more shuffle here. Thank you. So your advice for the week: 7 of Cups, the Emperor, there you are, and the 7 of Swords. There's something here about just paying attention to yourself, because I think you're going to catch yourself. That the 7 of Cups is the third decan in Scorpio, but it's also Neptune in Pisces. And so there's something here about catching yourself when it's a very emotional card, the 7 of Cups. There's 7 cups there, but the 7 of Swords is the third decan of Aquarius. And that means sometimes when you are in a high stressful situation, you can very easily detach your emotions from whatever it is that you feel for the person. And you can actually say some very cutting words. And again, it's just advice, but it's just saying maybe a little bit of a softer approach to that 7 of Swords. Judgment, 4 of Wands, and the Wheel of Fortune. I actually think that this would bring more balance or more harmony in your life. It's not an overnight fix here, if you will. And I'm certainly not saying there's anything wrong with you. But if this is your reading, just being a little bit more mindful of yourself this week will help you to start working on that shadow aspect when it comes to, it looks like it's a communication wound. And as someone who also has it and struggles from it, I know how difficult it is to break from it, but it is something that you can do. And I've seen progress in myself. But again, I think it just comes with being a little bit more aware of how we react in that moment. That is what I have for you, Aries, for the week ahead. If you like that message, it resonates with you, you want to claim all or part of it, please be sure to click like, share, comment, and subscribe. Hype the video if you're able to do that. And until I read for you again, I am wishing you light, love, and peace.